What's up, everybody? Shiv here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about one of my favorite cards from the League of Explorers, the Jeweled Scarab. This to me has been like the sleeper hidden gift that we all knew was going to be really fucking good. Alright? But how good actually is this card? A lot of people were like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool. Myself, I was like, dude, this is pretty fucking sweet in many circumstances. But how good really is it? Alright, well, let's get into this. The Discover mechanic basically is 3 costs, so depending on what class you are will determine a lot of that. So let's first go through the class variants and see exactly what you're getting here. So, as a druid, you can get a healing touch. Pretty cool if you're facing up against heavy aggro, you know, getting that heal might just stave off some stuff. Mark of Nature, turn something into a taunt, cool. Mulch, great. Savage Bolt Roar. Okay, the reason why I think that this is probably like the prime pick is how often do you get like half the combo but you don't get the Savage Roar? Well, there you go. You can now get another Savage Roar. And thanks to Emperor Thursday, you can do some really nasty shit. And of course the Mounted Raptor. This is also a really good one. It's about as close as you'll ever get to a 4-drop version of Discover, thank fucking God. Because, let's be honest, the last thing we want to see is a bunch of piloted fucking shredders. Alright, moving on to the next class is Hunter. Here's where shit hits the fucking fan. Literally. Alright, so anybody who's ever played Hunter can tell you that most of their power resides in the 3 area. Okay, so you've got Eaglehorn Bow. Great for either trading on the board or, let's be honest, going face. Animal Companion. Hey, you know what? If 1 Huffer is good and 2 Huffers is good, then 3 and 4 obviously are better, right? True fact. Deadly Shot, not nearly as effective, but hey, if it's a clear board, they play a big-ass minion using all their mana, well, Deadly Shot's a great thing. Kill Command. Here's arguably probably one of the better cards to fucking get. The reason why I say this is a lot of people, when they face Hunter, they count the kill commands. They're always looking at that. Well, Jeweled Scarab kind of throws that whole planning and strategizing portion right out the fucking window. It's like, alright, he already used 2, so I don't have to worry about him having this, but he did play 2 Jeweled Scarabs, so what's the likelihood of him getting 2 kill commands? Probably not all that great when you consider that Hunter has, how many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7, 8, 9 different 3-drops. Plus, you know, it doesn't always give you a class choice. It may just go completely neutral. True fucking fact. So, it's a risk. It definitely is a risk. Dreadscale. Now, this one I've actually found was pretty useful several fucking times. Especially with, you know, a lot of these people trying to make Murlocs a thing. Getting the Dreadscale has actually saved my ass many a times against like paladins and other classes. Against fucking warlocks specifically because of Implosion, and other hunters when they did Unleash the Hound. So yeah, Dreadscale definitely up there. Metal Tooth Leaper, no, not really. Stable Master, no, not really. But hey, you know what? You get 3 choices. Alright, moving over to Mage. Arcane Intellect, yes! So, you're basically guaranteeing you're going to get a draw. That's kind of funny. Discover a draw of 2. Yeah, I know. Counterspell, not horribly bad. Duplicate, not overly great. Effigy, really bad in this situation. Forgotten Torch, arguably probably the best one to get. The Frozen Nova, maybe, sure, why not? Ice Block, Ice Barrier, cool. Mirror Entity, yes. Polymorph Boar, I'm on the fence about. Spellbender, same, but that one's way worse. Vaporize, also pretty fucking shitty. Flame Waker is where shit gets really fucking fun for them, alright? Flame Waker is definitely where shit gets fun for them. Getting like a 3rd or possibly 4th Flame Waker is actually pretty fucking good. Kirin Tor Mage, if you're not running secrets, it kind of sucks, but it's a 4-3 body. Suit Spewer, 3-3 body with spell damage, not overly bad. Spell Slinger. Yeah, you already know why this card's OP. Alright, so now let's get to Paladin. Paladin gets really kind of interesting. You get Cog Hammers, you get Sword of Justice, Divine Favors, Muster for Battle, Seal of Champion, yeah. Outdoor Peacekeeper is probably going to be one of the most ideal picks all around. Scarlet Purifier, not really. Warhorse Trainer, depending on the type of deck you're playing, will determine whether or not this is good. Like, if you have a muster for battle in hand, then yeah, sure, I could definitely see this as being a choice. Alright, so now we get to Priest. Priest, ironically enough, is probably one of the more consistent classes when you play the Jeweled Scarab, because look at all the 3-drops you get. Not many. Not many at all. Yet. Alright. So, Shadow Word Death, arguably probably one of the better ones, because being able to kill big minions is really nice. Against like handlock decks, that's really important. Shadow Form, shit. Thought Steal, it is a tempo loss, but it is allowing you to steal from your opponent. Or basically copy from your opponent and use his own shit against him. Velen's Chosen, really strong contender for best choice. Tied with Dark Cultist. Shadow Fiend, not really, to be honest with you. But I've used it a couple times because it was like the better of the options, and it worked okay for me. Alright, so now we get to the Rogue. Okay, so Cogmaster Wrench, garbage. Perdition's Blade, not horribly bad. Beneath the Ground, not horribly bad. Really great tech to get rid of, or to fuck with Reno Jackson decks, let me tell you right now. Burgle, also, not a bad thing. I've actually been fucked over by this card. Fan of Knives, pretty fucking decent. Headcrack, garbage. Edwin, pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. Alright. Iron Sensei, meh. Shady Dealer, meh. SI7 Agent and Unearthed Raptor are probably going to be the best choices. Unearthed Raptor is only the best choice if you're running Death Rattle minions, which, considering there's a lot of them out there, is probably a really good chance. You're going to do fine with that. Alright. So now let's get to Shaman. Power Mace, yes, it's annoying. Elemental Destruction, fuck your board. Yes, it's annoying. Feral Spirits, yes, it's annoying. Healing Wave, yes, it's annoying. Hex, yes. Lava Burst, Lightning Storm. As you can see, Shaman has a lot of fucking nastiness at 3. Now moving on to Warlock. Demon Wrath. Okay, if you're playing a demon-centric deck, this is actually really fucking good. Alright. Drain Life, not so much. Shadow Bolt. Surprisingly enough, this is one of the main ones I almost always get with this. Simply due to the fact that it kills a lot of shit outright. If I'm versus another Warlock, I could pretty much, use this against an Imp Gang boss and only have a remainder of 1, which is not overly efficient, but it's better than nothing. Sense Demons, if you're running a demon deck, yeah, that could make sense. Alright. Void Terror. Now, this is one that I've gotten off of it many times because of my deck construction, which we'll be showing here in a little bit. I use stuff that could really benefit off this, but I don't really feel like playing Void Terror in those decks. But being able to pull it from outside design, not a horrible thing, and actually has led to some spectacular victories. Alright, now we get to Warrior. Yes, Warrior. King's Defender, get fucked. Ogre Maul, or Ogre War Maul, get fucked. Bash, arguably one of the better options to get here. Bouncing Blade, only if after you've cleared the board, is a really good thing. That way, let's say you brawl and they're left with their biggest minion, then Bouncing Blade actually has some value. Shield Block, it's armor plus a card draw. You can't really go wrong with that. Fierce Monkey, defensive option, not bad. Frothing Berserker, depending on your build, could be good. Most likely it isn't. Ogremar Aspirant, yeah, it could be good in certain circumstances, but most of the time, no. Warsong Commander, we obviously know that's not good anymore. Okay, now we get to the neutrals. Here's where shit gets really fucking funny. In the neutral category, you've got a lot of tech choice stuff and some other very interesting thing. It's a very wide variety mana cost, alright? So starting off, you got Acolyte of Pain. Hey, you having some problem with draws, your class, your deck design has some draw issues, hey, Acolyte of Pain could really help that out. Alarm Bot, pretty much garbage, unless you're playing with Ragnaroses and shit like that. Okay, Arcane Golem, want to add a little aggro to your fucking deck? There you go. Ardent Horse Rider, same basic concept for the Arcane Golem, but you're not doing nearly as much damage, and, well, you could actually use this to trade. It's actually quite nice for that. Big Game Hunter, Is the rest of your design basically based on a more aggressive thing and you have absolutely nothing in there to deal with, say, giants? Well, hey, now you do. Blackwing Technician, if you don't have any dragons, this is a piss poor choice. Blood Knight, if you're facing up against Paladin, this is a great fucking tech all day long, because they always carry fucking shielded mini-bots. And, well, you know, 3 mana for a 6/6 is pretty fucking okay by me. Bronzebeard, if you're running a lot of battle cries, this guy is fucking insane. Actually, using this guy plus Jeweled Scarab is amazing. True fact. Alright, Cold Light Oracle. Okay, so if you're a rogue or pretty much anybody who wants to try to be a mill class, congratulations, here you go. Cold Light Oracle plus Braum equals get wrecked. No, true fact, it does. Yeah. Alright. Cold Light Seer. If you're running Morlocks, sure, great. Coliseum Manager. Yeah, no, this, kind of bad. Kind of really bad. Dalaran Mage. Kind of bad. Dancing Swords. Not horribly good. Not horribly bad either. Deathlord. Arguably a really good choice to get as a defensive tool. If you're a priest, this is fucking a godsend. Alright, Demolisher. I've actually used this quite a bit, and it's led to me winning. I know it seems odd, but it does. Alright. Dragonhawk Rider. Again, this is a card that doesn't... It's not something you actively want to put in your deck, but having it on the board is actually pretty decent. Earthen Ring Farseer. Holy shit, this saved my game. I literally won with 3 health because of this one card. Emperor Cobra. Yes, nothing says you will not play your big fucking minions like a goddamn Cobra. The Darkbane and Lightbane sisters, depending on your deck design, to be perfectly honest. Fencing Coach, not really. Flesh Eating Ghoul. Flesh Eating Ghoul, holy shit. I actually pulled this because the Warlock deck that I was playing at the time has a lot of very token-esque creatures in it. So Flesh Eating Ghoul can very easily get out of hand. Especially when you have it behind, like, 2 fucking taunts. So, yeah, my opponent conceded instantly when this got to 17. Alright, moving on. Flying Machine, no. Unless, depending on your deck design, but most of the time, no. Nobergon Infantry, most of the time, no. However, I have had to pick this because it was actually the better of the options, and it did allow me to continue pushing face. Gnomish Experimenter. If you're running a spell-heavy deck, then maybe. If not, hell no. Goblin Sapper. Actually, it's not a bad option if you're facing like a Reno or whatever deck. So this could actually get some value for you. Harvest Golem. Meh. It's an in-between meh choice. Hobgoblin. Depending on your deck design, but most of the time, no. Ice Rager. I actually really like this one because it pretty much is a taunt. They have to waste the resources into it because nobody wants to take 5 fucking damage. Illuminator. Okay. So if you're a secret class, this is great. If you're not a secret class, this is shit. Master, again, not overly good. Injured Blade Master, depending on your design, but not overly good. Ironforge Rifleman is actually a shit design, but if you're running with Knife Jugglers, you could possibly get a little extra value out of this. Not much, but a little bit. Ironfur Grizzly, defensive taunt, yeah. Jungle Panther, not bad. A King Mukla, 9 times out of 10 is going to fuck you over. Alright. Lights Champion. Very situational. Little Exorcist. Now, this one I have used, and it saved my ass several times, because the Death Rattle is almost everywhere in this fucking meta. Magma Rager, fuck off. Master of Ceremonies. Yeah, no. I've yet to ever find a good use for this. It's a pretty card, but no. Mind Control Tech is arguably one of the ones that I use depending on what I'm facing up against. If this is an option, I know I'm going up against a very aggressive deck that can spam out a lot of minions, or I'm going up against Shaman or Paladin or things of that nature, which can very easily have 4 minions on the board at a time, then Mind Control Tech becomes the auto choice. Murloc War Leader, I don't play Murlocs nearly as enough to justify that. Ogre Brute definitely is one to put on there. 4/4 body, really nasty to deal with. And it doesn't come with the downside of giving your opponent a card draw. Questing Adventure, this is one of those cards you actually want to get with this. if you're running a very aggressive deck like a Warlock deck, because you're going to have a lot of low drop choices, so you can easily spiral this out of control later on in the game. And I have Raging Worgen, not overly good. Raid Leader definitely has some value because of this. And again, in my deck design, which we're going to be covering here soon, a lot of little tokens. So Raid Leader gets a huge amount of value. Alright, Razorfen Hunter, meh. Saboteur, sure, why not? I've actually used this and was able to stop the armor gain of a warrior, and it allowed me to push for lethal, so GG. Scarlet Crusader, not bad, not great. Shaded Naxxramas, so if you're like a druid player, then this is definitely a pick for you. Shattered Sun Cleric, in a pinch, can be helpful depending on your board state. Silent Knight, not really. Silverhand Regent. Now this one I actually think is a pretty legit, you know, it's 3/3 plus every time you use your hero power you get a 1/1. Yeah, that's good value right there, guys. Alright, Silverback Patriarch, pretty shit. South Sea Captain, pretty shit. Spider Tank, arguably one of the better 3-drops for just board state control. It's not the easiest thing in the world to deal with. Stone Gargoyle, pretty crap, to be perfectly honest with you. Tauren Warrior, in a pinch, can be good, but most of the time, it's pretty fucking crap. Tinkertown Technician, unless you're running mechs, is pretty crap. Wolf Rider, congratulations, add some more aggro to your deck without giving your opponents any kind of, you know, advantage. So yeah, that's pretty much all you can get out of it. But the Jeweled Scarab really opens up so many things in so many classes, like in Shaman. Definitely makes it more threatening, as you can tell by looking at the amount of 3-drops that they have. Holy shit. And in Hunter, all the big bang from Hunter comes in the 3-drops. Right? Really, it does. Paladin, kind of not so much. Priest, definitely not so much. But because they don't have much there, doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it's, you know, you're more likely to get those things. So, I don't know. I really like Jeweled Scarab, and I think it's quite amazing. Alright, so we're going to take a look at 2 decks that use Jeweled Scarab quite nicely. I'm going to explain why I like these decks. And I'll explain whether or not they're actually functional or not. Alright, so this is my Discovery Channel deck. As you can tell, it's baseline Zoo with a few little shenanigans thrown in there. Most notably, the Dark Peddler and the Jeweled Scarab. Yes, thus the whole Discovery Channel name. Alright, so the basic idea is this is very much an aggro deck with a lot of tempo trade potential. You have Mal'Ganis, you have Dr. Boom, you have Doom Guards, and you have the Void Callers, which are pretty much, you know, synonymous with this kind of deck design to, you know, get some value out of it. Now, we're also running a Bronzebeard, and the reason for that is if, you know, getting 1 3-drop off of Jeweled Scarab is good, getting 2 is even better, and holy shit, yes it is. Brawn actually adds a lot of value to this in some very unique ways. The amount of lethals I've been able to find out of fucking nowhere because of Brawn has been quite fucking amazing. I really, really like it. So yeah, the deck is actually really simple, very easy to play, and it gets about a 55 to 70% depending on, you know, meta that day. Sometimes it's going to fail miserably. Other times it's going to win brilliantly. It's, you know, kind of thing with Zoo. You're either going to do really, really good with it, or it's really going to just fall on its face. True fact. By the way, I will tell you right now, Reno seems to be able to knock the shit out of this deck left and right. True fact. Alright, and now moving on to the other one that I've been really playing around with and having a lot of fun with is the AIDS 2.0 Hunter. Yes, AIDS 2.0. AIDS original was basically a Face Rush Hunter deck, so AIDS 2.0 is a Face Rush Hunter deck. What's the difference here? We added Jeweled Scarabs in lieu of the Haunted Creeper. Oh my god, Shiv, what is wrong with you? Nothing. Haunted Creeper, in most part, is kind of a meh card to me, and here's why. 1, it's 1/2 body. Yeah, okay, sure, it breaks into 2 1/1s. Right, but in the mirror match, that's kind of actually a pain in the ass, because you basically give more power to your opponent to use and unleash the hounds. Now, yes, you are sacrificing certain combo synergies with Knife Juggler, but by going with Knife Juggler then, you really have him exposed to where getting any kind of value off Unleash the Hounds is diminished greatly. I don't generally like that too much. I would rather use my Knife Jugglers in a way to clear board and fuck up shit. Not, you know, other things. Now, people said, well, if you're going to do that, you should just drop the Knife Juggler altogether. No! And the reason why I say no to that is because there are many instances where coining out Knife Juggler turn 1 is the right fucking play, most notably against fucking Priest. Trust me, Priest hates seeing Knife Juggler on turn 1. The reason they hate seeing it on turn 1 is because they don't run Shadow Word Pain, and they know that they'll lose their fucking Northshire Cleric and get no card draw value off of it, and that is not something they're overly fond of doing. So yeah, I keep it there, just because we still have a lot of shit that's really good there. But the rest of the deck is pretty much standardized to the face, with the exception of we have a Leroy in here, and we also run a Flare. If you're not really wanting to run a Flare because, you know, secrets are not something you're really worried about, i.e. Freeze Mage or Secret Paladin, which still do exist, ladies and gentlemen, then perhaps, you know, get rid of this, you know, pick up a second Quick Shot, or pick up another Ironbeak Owl, both of which would be very, very good. Alright, so now, why is Jeweled Scarab good in this deck? Well, let's go to it. Eagle Horn Bow. 3 Eagle Horn Bows is better than 2. Animal Companion. 3 Animal Companions is better than 2. Kill Command. 3, 4 is better than... You start to see what I'm saying? These are the power cards of your fucking set, right? And now you're getting a chance to go 3 or 4 on them. That right there could be so fucking detrimental. In practice, I've gotten Unleash the Hounds, Kill Commands, and Animal Companions. You want to talk about somebody who's really upset? Go play against the Hunter in Arena and watch him pull out 3 Animal Companions, and let me know how well you felt about that shit. Because I'll tell you right now, it doesn't feel good at all, man. It doesn't feel good at all to have that happen to you. So now, Jeweled Scarab gives you that possibility of having that same effect. Jeweled Scarab and pretty much most of the Discover mechanics are really kind of interesting. They're adding another dynamic of complexity and RNG and mind games to the meta that I think we actually needed. As much as I and many other people like to complain about fucking RNG, it does actually keep the game honest. It really does. So I think that this kind of diversity really does help things. I think this amount of RNG actually does help things. And in all honesty, it's a pleasant surprise when this shit works. It's like it all came together perfectly. It's just brilliant. But anyway, so those are 2 decks that I really wanted to show that in my experimentation have done relatively okay. So again, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and you know, as always, stay safe, have fun, and may RNGesus bless you. Peace.